Hi everyone, welcome back to Nat Scraps. I'm Natalie Koenig and I'm a close to my heart maker. Today we are looking at the third layout that I've made in my Backyard Bliss scrapbooking kit collection. There is a video that has all of my layouts all in one video, which is a nice condensed version. This is the long version, so try to stick with me. If you can't, I'll completely understand. I've made a double spread layout and a single already, and now I am trying to use these circles that are left over from what would have been the second layout if you followed the kit instructions. So I'm having a little look at these, and the inspiration that I've got in my mind is that these circles are going to run down the edges of the pages, and they're going to have this lovely wood grain behind them. So I kind of measured it out and punched the circles the right size, and I'm going to get right down to creating this embellishment for the page. So I'm sticking the wood grain circles behind. Now you wouldn't need to do this, and I think if I was teaching this in a class, I definitely wouldn't cut each one of those individually out. I'd just cut a strip of the wood grain. I'm trying to decide which colour cardstock that I'm going to place those circles on, and I decide on the papaya. On my screen it looks a little bit more orange than what it is. The papaya is actually a lot more pink, but I think it's just the way my screen looks, unfortunately. Hopefully yours looks a little bit better. So I'm just trimming that, making a very fine border around that. At the very start of the video, while I was chatting away there, you see me poke out all those hearts from the sheet, the carrier sheet that they were on. Those hearts were from the leftover from the project one, and I've got them all out so that I know what I have, and I've added them with all the hearts and bits that were already in that little box. I pulled in this layered flower die set, and in my mind I'm thinking I'm going to cut lots of flowers out of the papers and make flower embellishments to go down that side. So there are some flowers on the sticker sheet and some beautiful leaves and some leaves from the die cut sheet still left over, but I want to bring in some more flowers, and there's such beautiful papers in the collection. I figure it will just go really nicely to add those in. I'm going through my box looking at the circles, the bits of paper that are in that little box first, using up the smallest scraps they have, and pulling out colours I think the flowers are going to look nice in when I die cut them. Got some papaya, a little bit of the wood grain which has the chicken coopy look on the other side of it, and you see there I've cut lots of green leaves as well, and some of the lighter purpley flower paper into flowers as well, and I've had loads and loads. Now I cut out lots of this because I fiddled with these flowers for ages, guys. I rearranged them, I restacked them, I put them up, put them down. So this was a good couple of hours of just playing with. Here I am just layering up, and I started with the thought that I'd have like 3 flowers on each one of those circles, but it was not showing enough of the wood grain and it was just getting a bit too much. So I sort of stripped it back a bit and went back to like 1 flower. And I think later on I sort of strip it back, the bigger flowers that I'd put on, and make them a little bit smaller again. I'm now looking to see how I want to back these, and I've chosen to use that florally paper and the chicken coop or chicken wiry paper. I call it chicken wire. It's a really nice soft grey with a pattern on it that runs like a chicken wire. It's not like rusty or anything. You'll notice too that I've made a second set of embellishments too. As I said, I cut a lot of this out because it just took so long to make, and I didn't want you to have to sit through the pain of watching me do that. Now I've layered some white on there, and I have gutted the center of that white to save a little bit of paper. Throughout my 9 layouts that I made with this kit, I added only 1 piece of green cardstock and several pieces of white daisy. As you can imagine, with 9 layouts, I needed a little bit of extra. Now you see there, I wanted that little piece. It was just a bit short, so that I had to go and do a bit of Frankensteining and add a little bit back on. I don't know about you guys, but I have to Frankenstein quite often when I make little mistakes. I would like to know if you guys do the same thing, or do you just get a whole new piece of paper out or what? Along the edge of the floral, I am just tearing a little smidge off just to give that little bit of a rustic feel. And I had thought about putting green underneath that papaya, but I don't think I had enough room with the amount of space that I had there. I am going to repeat this process on the other side, and I think from memory I cut that out so you didn't have to sit through it. There we go. So now I'm just going through my photo mats, and you do get all the photo mats in the scrapbooking kit, which is fantastic because it allows you to lay out those bits and pieces. So if you don't have photos at the time, you can lay it all out and see what designs you like. Popping through my life cards, and I'm just choosing a couple of those cards to help accent the page. I'm using one just as like a little tag there, and I'm flicking through the others to see what I like. So the ones I sort of like, I kind of put to the side, give them a trial, and then if I don't end up liking them, I throw them back into the pack. The one there that says fun in the sun is, I decide that I'm going to fussy cut the circle part out of that and place it over that top flower, which gives the page a lovely title. This is the 3x4 card that I pulled out, and I'm going to just tuck that in the top and the bottom of those 6x4 photos. I still have a little hole there, and I've gone in and found something that I would like to put there. That is a piece of the wood grain die cuts, and there was a tag there, so I've popped that in, and then another one that's got the 3 little hearts on. I punched those little hearts out and backed them with a little bit of papaya a little bit later. These embellishments were really fun to make with all the die cut flowers. The layered flower collection is really gorgeous with so many different flowers in it. It is retiring though in August when new catalogue comes out. So it would pay to go through that catalogue and just see what things that you like, as there is quite a lot retiring. I'm gonna pop that little watering can down. I also pulled from the sticker sheet that Joy, and you'll see that I matte that a little bit later too, so that it stands out a little bit more. It's sort of wishy-washy at the moment. Did you see that fun mess I had under that fun in the sun? I definitely had made a little bit of mess under there with the flowers, and I'd pulled them all back off and put them back on. I'm just taking one of those flowers now and placing it on the edge of that title and popping some leaves behind. Here's where I'm matting underneath those hearts so that the wood grain die cut stands out a little bit and you get that pop of the papaya. Papaya wasn't my favourite colour, and I sort of shied away from it, but I'm beginning to like it. It really does give a nice bright pop of colour and makes things stand out. Just putting a bit of foam tape behind the watering can, and then I'm going to pop that on an angle on that little Picture My Life card. That Picture My Life card has a few lines on it, so it'd be really good for a little bit of journaling. you'll notice that I have neglected to actually glue down one of those flowers. I'll eventually figure that out as I go along. And this is where I'm adding the joy. So I've just popped that on the papaya, and I've done a fussy cutting around it and left just the tiniest little border. I'm popping foam tape on that, and I'm going to mount that up on that side where I had it on the right. If you haven't already and want to catch the rest of my videos, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and that way you'll get a notifications, or it will pop up on your YouTube feed when my next videos come out. So there is at least 9 videos. There may be a 10th one right at the end, showing all the processes. But if you don't want to sit through them, as I said at the start, you can go back and just see that video that has all of the layouts in one quick little grab. The other thing, and I've mentioned it a few times in previous videos, is that I do have a cutting guide for this. So if you go to my web store and purchase the kit, you'll get the cutting guide for free, and that will show you how I got all 9 layouts out of the paper pack. And if you're already a maker, or you have purchased it from somewhere else, you can buy that cutting guide from me. You just need to drop a comment on the video or send me an email, which has all my details down below. So that's it, guys. This is that layout completed. All those beautiful flowers, and using up some of those Picture My Life cards as well. I hope you've enjoyed, and I really appreciate you guys getting all the way through this video and sticking all the way to the end. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you for layout 4, which is up on your screen now. That's a little sneak peek. Bye.